Alright lads, welcome back to the channel. UFC 298 is a wrap. I had to go into hiding for a few days after my last video because my take was so fucking horrendous. It was unbelievable. My video had 2,000 views, or has 2,000 views, and it had over 100 comments, and every single one of them was just fucking rinsing me. So, look, I understand that the take was bold, and it was kind of stupid, and I overlooked the fact that Ilya did have, a great shot at winning the fight. I think I just let my love for Volk blind me a little bit too much, and the title was a bit clickbaity. I didn't look. I'm not gonna try and backtrack. I genuinely thought that Volk was gonna win a decision against Topuria, but I think I discredited Topuria a bit too much in that video. So I think with my next takes, they're not gonna be so outrageous and probably a bit more logical. Not my finest moment, but hey, look, we move. I'm going to be talking about some of the fights on UFC 298. I didn't see the whole cards. The first fight that I did see, I was out in the morning, so I didn't, because I live in Australia. I saw the Nakamura versus Carlos Vera fight. Really weird fight. Look, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm just going to get straight into what I thought of the cards. Really strange fight. I think it was a bit disappointing for Nakamura. I feel like he's such a big prospect, and he needed like a big. I thought he was going to get the knockout, to be honest. But there's not really much you can do when Carlos Vera was just on his back the whole time. So realistically, it was a pretty stinky fight. I haven't really got much to say about this one. I feel kind of sorry for Nakamura because I feel like his stock's going to decrease just the tiniest bit because Carlos Vera kind of stunk it up for him, which isn't really his fault, but yeah, never want to see Carlos Vera in the UFC again. He fucking sucks. On to Junior Tafa versus Rogério de Lima. Look, you can't really say anything about Junior Tafa. You got to give him lots of respect for stepping in on a day's notice. I'm pretty sure also 2 days notice. Yeah, those leg kicks, man. Every single time one of those leg kicks landed, I was wincing. I was like, fuck. And then in the end, he got the TKO pretty much by leg kick. Yeah, look, I think Rogério de Lima's just. I think he can put good fights against these dudes in the higher rankings, like the 13s and whatever and whatnot. But once you get into like the top 8, I think he kind of gets a bit fraud checked. But I think Junior Tafa's stock really increased. I think the UFC will like this as well. He's willing to jump in on a day's notice and do this for the company. So UFC is going to love this, and I feel like they're going to reward him in the future. And good win for De Lima. I think he needed to get back into the win column. Amanda Lemos versus Mackenzie Dern. A good fight, a really good fight. Kind of confused at what Amanda Lemos was doing in this fight. She was blitzing her on the feet and she was fucking her up hell hard. And then she was trying to win the exchanges on the ground when she was completely outmatched. Like Mackenzie Dern is way better on the floor than Amanda Lemos. And to be fair, I think the fight probably should have been stopped. Ref definitely had a bet on, or he just, he wants to smash Mackenzie. No, listen, chill. Look, I think the fight should have been stopped, but credit to Mackenzie Dern because I thought she was going to get fucking annihilated. Amanda Lemos showed that she was just a tiny bit, only a tiny bit better, I feel, look, alright, I'm getting my words jumbled up. Before this fight happened, I thought Amanda Lemos was going to absolutely dog walk Mackenzie Dern. And I use the term dog walk lightly. I'll get to that because of my last video. I think she should have just kept it on the feet. And especially, I think Amma Macenta was in the 3rd round. She kept going to the floor with her when she could have easily gotten back up. And it didn't really make much sense when she was piecing her up on the feet. And I don't know. Mackenzie Dern did that in that big shot on the feet, obviously, but I feel like it was a pretty convincing win for Amanda Lemos, but a good fight nonetheless. All right, Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Kopylov. Fair play. Anthony Hernandez showed that, he's legit. I think he has a really good shot at beating some top 10 middleweights. I don't think Roman Kopylov got fraud checked. He came in on like shortish notice. And I just think Anthony Hernandez is just really good. He's got incredible cardio. You got really good wrestling. And I think both of these guys were dark horses, I feel like these two dudes will have a bright future at middleweight. Commiserations to Roman Kopylov. I don't think this fight obviously should have been made, but I don't think it should have been made at the same time because I feel like the UFC should have pushed both of these dudes because they are so good. But I guess it was kind of like who's ready to take the next step to the next level, and it was Anthony Hernandez. So fair play. He got the submission in round 2. Really quite convincingly, to be honest. And the body kicks that Roman Kopylov were landing on people would fold any random average Apex shit fighter or high level fighters, to be fair. So yeah, Anthony Hernandez, he is legit. Roman Kopylov, I don't think he got fraud checked because I feel like this loss will age kind of well. But yeah, fair play to Anthony Hernandez. I reckon Roman Kopylov will be back regardless. All right, Merab Davash. Fuck, I always get fucked up when trying to say Merab's last name. Davash. Merab Cejudo. What's crazy about this fight is Cejudo had such a good first round, like a really, really good first round. And I was looking thinking, fuck, like Merab actually might lose here. And then, because Merab didn't start super fast like he did against Petr Yan, I thought he looked hell tentative. Maybe the moment got to him. I'm not too sure. Then Merab comes out in the second round, and then it's the Merab that we know. He absolutely bulldozes Cejudo. Picking him up, embarrassing him, talking to Zuckerberg in the crowd. Crazy fight. Merab definitely deserves the title shot next. Him or Sandhagen. Please don't make Sandhagen versus Merab because both dudes deserve to get the title shot. But in my opinion, if Merab does go up against Sean O'Malley, this is his biggest test, definitely, Merab. I think Sean is also Merab's biggest test as well, because you saw when Cejudo landed that shot, he kind of did the stanky leg, and I think obviously Sean O'Malley has bigger one-shot KO power than Henry Cejudo. We saw that, we've seen that throughout his whole career, and we saw it against Aljo just recently. But it'll be interesting to see these two match up. But I think if Sean O'Malley doesn't knock Merab out in 5 minutes, I feel like it's just done. Like, I feel like Cejudo looked good in this fight as well, which is crazy. But Merab is just on a different level. But the Henry Cejudo disrespect at the end of the fight, it was renowned that if Cejudo lost, he said that he was going to retire. And I saw in a press conference, Dana White said he didn't want to have... he was pretty much saying that he didn't want to have this big moment for Cejudo in the middle of like the card. He didn't want to take, ruin the momentum. But I feel like it's just so disrespectful to Cejudo, who was, bear in mind, it was a victim weight. He was still a double champion, and he fucked around in his prime, and he kind of left, and he wanted more money and this and that, and I'll admit Henry Cejudo did fuck it up for himself. There's no one else to blame but him. But as one of the goats of the sport, and he's given so much to the company, and he's had some awesome fights with Mighty Mouse, and I don't think he's the GOAT per se, but he's one of the best MMA fighters of all time, and to see him not even get an interview after, I'm pretty sure, was just mind-blowing. It was so disrespectful, and the more I see Dana White do this to fighters, the more I kind of sour against Dana White, because the disrespect on Cejudo here is kind of crazy, and I just feel sorry for the guy. But oh well, what can you do? Have a good retirement, Triple C. Even though you're super cringe, you will be remembered as one of the best MMA fighters of all time, so fair enough. Alright, at welterweight we have Ian Garry versus Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's just a retard. Like, honestly, Jeff Neal could have actually easily won this fight. Ian Garry looked really, really tentative in this fight. Like, he looked like he was scared of the power coming back at him more. And there was times when Jeff Neal did land and you went, fuck. Like, he's got the power to get him out, but I don't know what Jeff Neal was doing. It was just such a low IQ fight. And Ian Garry, fair enough, he got the win smartly. He had his moment on the mic. He could have had such a good moment, and he kind of just shit the bed again, like he did at the press conference. And it's just frustrating because we all know, like, everyone knows that Ian Garry could be the next big superstar, but like he kind of just shits the bed on the mic. He's got no mic skills, or like he just gets too scared to fucking do a bit of public speaking, which is part of your job, pretty much being a UFC fighter. So Jeff Neal's a retard. Like, no offense, I really wanted Jeff Neal to win as well, but he just fought such a stupid fight. Like, I don't know why. And he had I know he's the shorter and smaller guy, but he had the reach advantage on Ian Garry, and he just didn't use it at all. But fuck, fair enough to Ian Garry. He got another win, and I said in my best non-title fights to make video, Ian Garry versus Colby Covington, and I got loads of shit for it, and I don't know why. Ian Garry literally called for Colby Covington at the end of this fight, and I know he called for it because he wants to public enemy number 1 versus public enemy number 2, I get it. But all the people who gave me shit in that video, shush, because it came out of his mouth, so fuck, yeah, that's, yeah, look, I'm only messing, but like, that's a pretty cool fight to make, to be fair. Like, not a bad fight. to make. I feel like Ian Gary obviously gets it done. I don't think Colby Covington will take it anyway. Dead fight, to be honest. Jeff Neal really fumbled the bag. Because if he got this win, he would have been not a superstar, but like everyone would have loved Jeff Neal. He would have went down as like a household name for the guy who fucking knocked Ian Gary out. But yeah, oh well. Ian Gary's still undefeated. On to the next fight. For me, probably the fight of the night, Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. It's a strange one for me because I've never seen a fight where Robert Whittaker looked like he was winning convincingly, but also I was shitting myself watching him fight at the same time. I'll start with Paulo Costa first. Paulo Costa looked really good, considering everyone's dogged him for being like, you know, pull-out merchant and he's not hungry anymore. This guy looked fucking good, and like I feel like he didn't have ring rust, but he looked like he had been out, you know, for a little bit. And if he was consistently fighting, I don't know, I think he could potentially maybe make another run at the title. I don't want to say that because that's a pretty bold claim, and I feel like he needs to fight one more time before we can make that kind of assumption. But really good fight of the night for me. I don't know how Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Lemos won the fight of the night. They had a good fight, but I feel like this one was just so much better. And you can see the level jump from Ian Gary and Jeff Neal to Robert Whittaker and Paulo Costa. It was insane. At the end of the first round, Robert Whittaker got rocked, which I said in my prediction video for this fight there. I feel like it will be competitive at the start, and then slowly Robert Whittaker will take over and get I'm pretty sure I said he'll get the decision. Yeah, this fight was weird because I don't think I think he's taken too much damage at this point, and I feel like he's good enough to stay at the top of the middleweight division, but I don't think he's going to reclaim the strap back. And what I was saying before about, he looked like he was dominating him, but I felt like he was one big shot away from getting absolutely sparked out, and it was really weird. And I want to know if I was the only one who thought this, like, do you know what I mean? Like, he looked like he was winning convincingly. I was like, yeah, Robert's got this in the bag. But then maybe I was just nervous because I care about the fighter so much. But I don't know. Let me know what you think about that take. I just thought that Rob was one big shot away from getting sparked out. But good fight nonetheless. Fight of the night for me, definitely. It was awesome to see Paulo Costa come back and look so hungry. All right, now the moment that, if you watched my last video, the moment you've been waiting for. So if you haven't watched my last video, I said that Alexander Volkanovski is going to dog walk and make Ilia Topuria into a meme. Obviously, you know what happens. Ilia Topuria knocks him out in the second round. Look, I feel like I discredited Ilia Topuria a lot. I kind of wanted to make, like, you know, the big clickbaity title for, you know, the YouTube video, but there was merit in what I thought I was saying. Like, realistically, I thought Volkanovski at his own weight, I thought that he would be able to get this one done. I just didn't think that Ilia Topuria was going to... I thought he had a chance of knocking him out. Don't get me wrong. I didn't think he had no chance of knocking him out. But I thought Alexander Volkanovski was going to be too smart to be knocked out. And in the knockout sequence, it was a 4-punch combo in which he literally just walked straight back in a straight line, chin up in the air. And Ilia does have that power. And I said in my pre-fight prediction of this one that Ilia Topuria doesn't have any power, but yeah, that was a stupid call, and the whole video was really silly, to be fair, so I take it back. Sorry to my 98 subscribers who subscribed for me to have such a horrendous take, so I'm sorry about that. I had to go on to hide them for a few days. Look, I wanted to have that, like, aha moment, but I think I let my love for Volkanovski blind my judgment a little bit. I think Ilia Topuria winning is awesome for the featherweight division. I feel like it gets it moving again, and a lot can happen now. Because if Volkanovski won, realistically, and with Topuria, you've got the whole division wide open again, and you've got the fight with Sean O'Malley, which I don't want to happen. And you know what I mean? You've got lots of good potential matchups to make. And going back to my last video, I think I heavily overlooked Ilia Topuria, and I feel like I just couldn't see Volkanovski losing because he's been so dominant. I feel like dog walk and all that was kind of... that was a bit of an exaggeration. That was exaggerating for the video, and I'm sorry. I got kind of lost in that. Look, got this one completely wrong. I hold my hands up. I'm definitely not going to do my future predictions with my heart. I'm going to do it with my brain. UFC 298, one of the best cards I've seen in a while, actually. I feel like if the Ian Gary and Jeff Neal fight was a tiny bit better, it would have been really, really good card, but... Obviously, we've got the fight night coming up next, or a few fight nights. I think we've got 2 fight nights with Moreno and Royval, and in Mexico, and Rosenstrike versus, is it Gaziev? I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. And then we've got UFC 299, which I'm so excited about. That'll be an awesome card. But lads, thank you so much for watching. If you new around here, hit the subscribe button. Ignore my last video. My last video didn't happen, and if you saw it, you didn't. I won't have such horrendous takes next time. But thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on this video if you did enjoy. Let me know what you thought of the cards in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.